The basketball itself is the heart of the game. Without it, the sport simply couldn't be played. The game of basketball was invented by Dr. James Naismith in 1891, and at the time, players used a dark brown soccer ball. 3 years later, in 1894, the American sports equipment company A.G. Spalding and Brothers developed a ball specifically for basketball. They crafted it using thick, hand-stitched leather, bound together with laces. Spalding designed the ball to weigh less than 20 ounces, with a circumference of 32 inches, 4 inches larger than a soccer ball. As the game evolved and gained popularity, so did the rules and the design of the ball itself. In 1937, basketballs were made without laces. While there is little information on why the laces were removed, some sources suggest that Chuck Taylor, a former player and coach, was behind this innovation. He introduced a seamless basketball, which offered a more consistent shape and better bounce. In 1957, Tony Hinkle, the head coach of Butler University's basketball team, noticed an issue with the brown basketball. It was difficult to see. He proposed a brighter colored ball that would be more visible to both players and spectators, even in dim lighting. Hinkle partnered with Spalding to develop a new ball, and they settled on an orange design. There was no particular reason orange was chosen over other colors, but many believe it was simply a brighter version of the original brown. Spalding's orange basketball made its debut in the 1958 NCAA Finals in Louisville, Kentucky. The new color was quickly adopted by both the NCAA and the NBA. However, the ABA, a rival league to the NBA at the time, opted for a more eye-catching tricolor design, featuring red, white, and blue panels. The design of the basketball continued to evolve. The traditional 4-panel construction was replaced with an 8-panel design, which became the official NBA basketball in 1970. That same year, the NBA also adopted Spalding's full-grain leather basketball, which provided a better grip than previous models. Over the years, Spalding and the NBA continued to refine and revolutionize the basketball to enhance player experience. The most significant change came in 2006 when, for the first time since 1970, Spalding introduced a new ball, the Spalding Cross Traction. This ball was made from synthetic microfiber composite and featured an interlocking 2-panel design instead of the traditional 8-panel construction. It was also designed to improve grip by controlling moisture levels. NBA Commissioner David Stern called it the best basketball ever made. However, players strongly disagreed. Many found the synthetic material uncomfortable, with some even claiming it affected their performance. Shaquille O'Neal was one of the most vocal critics, saying, "It's terrible. It feels like a cheap toy store ball. I can see players' shooting percentages dropping and turnovers increasing, because when the ball gets wet with sweat, you can't control it. Whoever made this decision should be fired." Steven Jackson, who was playing for the Indiana Pacers at the time, also voiced his frustration. "The first time I held it, I hated it. It feels like plastic." Even Ray Allen complained that he had to use lotion constantly because the ball was rough on his hands. Due to overwhelming player dissatisfaction, the NBA scrapped the synthetic ball at the end of 2006 and reverted to the traditional 8-panel leather design. In June 2021, the NBA and Spalding announced the end of their long-term partnership, effective after the 2021 season. Spalding's vice president and general manager Matt Murphy stated, "As a partner of the NBA, it has been our privilege to have Spalding used by the world's greatest athletes." In late 2019 and early 2020, Spalding and the NBA worked diligently to establish a new agreement. However, we were unable to reach terms, and it was mutually decided that the 2020-21 season would be our last. Today, the NBA's official basketball is supplied by Wilson, a Chicago-based sports equipment company that had previously partnered with the league from 1946 to 1983 before Spalding took over. Wilson also serves as the official ball provider for the NFL, the US Open, and several other sports competitions.